how important will so-called anchor industries be, for example, refineries, ammonia ports, to getting hydrogen fuel transport in terms of securing the production volumes necessary to bring the cost of hydrogen production to reasonable levels? I'm not sure who wants to take that first. Perhaps we'll come to you, Kristina.
Just to understand the question correctly, are we talking about the bunkering infrastructures in ports, etc.? Just to get where we...
Yeah, I think we're talking about those large-scale demand centers and the infrastructure to go with those. So yes, I think you could answer from that point of view.
Yeah. So definitely the transport hubs around ports, airports, large industrial areas where there is a significantly higher hydrogen consumption already, we will see the bunkering facilities also having to scale up both in technology and price and cost investments to get them ready. A lot of discussions, particularly in the marine sector, is how to transport the hydrogen. What kind of hydrogen carriers should we be looking at if compressed gaseous hydrogen, for several reasons, cannot be an option? Space, weight, volume to be transferred, etc. Where hydrogen carriers such as ammonia or methanol are being investigated in great detail and getting some traction in the market. And I think there are pros and cons related to both when using those two hydrogen carriers on board ships, but they both serve the purpose of moving large quantities of hydrogen around in a practical way that can provide a good power solution. But they are not without compromise and also they're not without energy losses in the manufacturing of these fuels and making them available for the sector.
Absolutely, they certainly are very good for that. And as with so many things, it's about getting the right balance, I guess, and those trade-offs. Wayne, would you have anything to add to this?
Well, maybe just to say that, of course, there are other sectors for which hydrogen is very good. The industrial sector, hydrogen as an industrial feedstock into various processes, is the largest addressable market today. It's gray hydrogen by and large, and it can be decarbonized as well. So we have a hydrogen industry line of business that's under the same umbrella as our hydrogen mobility. And the opportunity could be to leapfrog in again, orders of magnitude of scale. So as we think about on the hydrogen production and distribution side of things in your previous questions around pipelines, the industrial sector might have opportunities to jump 1 or 2 orders of magnitude in scale and be very helpful. And maybe another example of that, in California, there's been policy, early days of renewable power generation, renewable portfolio standard, it was called, that would require electric utilities to procure a very small amount of wind and solar generation. Too small for the system operator to really notice, too small for customers to notice, but big in the scaling up of wind and solar. And we're kind of to the same point in hydrogen. The total demand for mobility in California is roughly 10 tons per day. And if there was a 2% clean hydrogen blending standard into natural gas systems, too small for the pipeline system, metallurgy, et cetera, to notice, too small for customers and burner tips to notice, it'd be 1,000 tons per day. It'd be 100 times bigger in scale of clean hydrogen production and infrastructure systems in California. So on the industry side and into natural gas systems, the scale is just immediately there if it's tapped into.